Afternoon. Shall I say good night? Maybe for those in Australia. All right. So, welcome to Mind Your Character with Yesterday Olusola-Obasa. It's the show that never leaves you the same way, and that's because it always leaves you better than it met you. I have gone online to shout about today's show, and I can assure you that I'm ready. All right. So, you can see me wearing Honeyland parent. My daughter said I should make sure she shows very well. Little did she know that I didn't plan for it to show because I was going to wear something over it. But on the second thought, I decided to do free advert for our school. It was inter-house sports day and it's been all day in sun and we thank God for life. We thank God it was good. I had a good laugh, especially when the what do you call them? The women decided to do parents race. I commend them because me, nobody can catch you on the track doing any race. It's not one of my own love language for a child. So they had fun. For a lot of people, it was just catching cruise, but it was good. You know already that some people were falling down, normal, falling down, and a particular man was sitting beside me and he was laughing seriously when the women were tumbling. And he said any woman that fell, the child will pay double school fees. And then he vouched that he was going to run. So the man left my the seat beside me. I went to the pitch to go and run. You know, and everybody around them say, this is why it's not good for laugh at people. Look at this man. And then we are waiting for him to return to his seat. The moment he returned to his seat, he said, you should not worry, they didn't pay me, that's why I'm fine. It's a good way. Your son is beside you. You have to be for something to do. Anyway, it was good. So welcome to the show. I just wanted you to have a feel of what my day has been like. A lot of things we do for children because some persons did for us as well. And we felt that some other things that may not have been done for us will do as much as possible to ensure that we do for our children. I don't remember my parents being at any house sports. I'm wondering what that would look like. But yes, it's a privilege to have been able to be at the Honeyland Schools House Sport held in Agege earlier today. As a matter of fact, I just came in from there. Had to quickly do this thing that look like makeup that just is trick. All right, so let's move on. Thank you, everyone who's joining me already. I did say that today we'll be talking about. I said let's talk about emotional intelligence for ladies in business and career. I want my song to play at a lower volume. Yes. So the conversation will not have any nothing will be impeding you hearing me. Emotional intelligence for women in the workplace is a huge one. There's a lot happening, even at what you call the highest of places. And last week, for those who joined me, I was trying to shake some tables. And honestly, I was doing it with all sense of responsibility to awaken fellow women. You know, it's still the women's month. There's nothing like IWD day. It's IWM because it's a month. Okay, so every day in this month is an IW day. So last week, exactly 8th of March, I was shaking the tables around the fact that women stop thinking that you are more emotional than the men. It's a narrative that is out there. Many of us just take it and just swallow it down and we just leave it out. Oh, I'm emotional being, I'm emotional being. The men are also emotional beings. The men are also emotional. There's something that is different, which I mentioned last week before I go into some tricks or tips that I like to teach you today. And that's the fact that men manage how they express emotion. They have learned how to express their emotion. So I'm going to read a quote to you here that I picked online. It said, there are small significant gender differences in emotional expressions. Don't miss the word expression. So not in emotional types, not in emotional frequency, or weight. It's in expression. So it says small significant gender differences emotional expressions have been reported for adults, with women showing greater emotional expressivity. Still talking about expression, especially for positive emotions. And I like this research. It's saying that emotions are even likely to tend towards positive. So why is all your own negative? And you're leaving it at the desk of the fact that you're an emotional being. You need to check something. There's a personal development course that is in all capital in front of you that you need to answer. So for positive, he said that especially for positive emotions and internalizing negative emotions such as sadness. Okay, but when developmentally, when developed, when you work on it, these differences do change. Okay, so the differences can get better or get worse based on what you're doing with you. So what have you been doing with you? You are not more emotional than the men are. The research I just read to you now, the report says that there's a tiny line of difference and it's only in expressions. So you were not packaged by God, loaded by God with more emotions than men have. Over the years, men have learned to better manage their own emotions. Look, this is why I'm talking to business men, women, and career women. Because there are certain things in the marketplace that will not ask you for your gender. Let's come straight on this matter. So I'm not asking you to become a man. I'm just telling you that if you're going to do great in your career, if you're going to soar high, if you're going to rank at par with men who have been there for generations, you've got to come to the table with the right mindset. So you don't come with all the weakness, all the victim, all the disadvantaged package. No, 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 no. You don't need it. It's not going to be useful because if they say accelerate action, they are saying accelerate action in impact making, accelerate action in influence, in value provision, in every great thing, in scaling, accelerate action, in taking on new things, accelerate action. So if we are making ourselves feel like we cannot, because there's a popular quote all of us know that says, if you say you can, then you can. But if you say you cannot, then you cannot. So women have to come to terms with that. So last week, I was helping you see that for men, from when they were young, nobody gave them a chance to even express emotions. Remember how you quickly shut down the young boys when they are trying to cry for the same thing that the girls will cry. And then you say something like, no, the boys don't cry. And then they learn over time to soak in their emotions. That again is negative. That's why outbursts can be terrible for many of them. But you see, the positive side of it, just as we have the propensity for as ladies, is that they've been able to use the power of managing their expression to be able to curtail issues, be able to be in charge, be able to take control of things. We need to come on that place as well. Women going places, business women, career women, professionals, whatever you're doing, whatever, even ministry, you need to come on that frequency. So today, I want to give a few counsel. I want to give a few. I haven't tried to do a recap of what I discussed, which is the foundation last week, where I categorically told you that you are not more emotional than the male folks are as a woman. The only difference is men have over the decades and generations learned to express their emotions properly. And so men can still be as they can still let themselves loose as much as a lot of women are doing today. But point is that you have to understand the game will require the same thing from you as it will require for the men. And that reminds me that I have a very important program coming up on the 27th of March. Thursday, 27th of March, we are collaborating with Pertinent to host a forum for ladies, professionals, career people, and ministry, business, whatever you do. Whatever you do that you're pursuing that is giving you a sense of purpose in life, meet me and other go getting women at that event coming up on the 27th. It's a Thursday. So you can take some time out from office and just requests for a time to be awake, you will find it absolutely useful. And so many, I'll be giving a keynote speech. I think someone else is also speaking about another area. But yes, I'm still on this matter. We need to become more emotionally intelligent. So now, before I go into the point I'm going to give you, I'll tell you some of the things that have helped me. I found myself in a career where men were predominant. Give it to what the girls are doing today. It's becoming better. The newsrooms are getting more and more entertaining more and more girls. Talk about broadcasting and the rest of them. But yeah, it never used to be like that. You had more men there, and so many of the ladies who were there had to struggle with maybe I couldn't marry, I had to be single for long. So even parents were not so keen about your child going to broadcasting because you saw all the broadcasters in NTA as are there, and all of them are still single. And you're wondering if this job gives them no time to be married. I don't want my daughter there. A lot of narratives. But yes, things are changing. But what's the point? I learned to compete for what the men will compete for. I learned that no one was going to ask for your gender when they wanted to give you an assignment to go and do for the organization. As a matter of fact, let me now tell you the interesting part of it. Some of the very, very high quality stories I was assigned to do were given me because I was a woman. Why? Not because it needed a weak person, but it needed that picture of someone who could easily get into places and get things done without getting noticed. And that worked. So rather than looking at all the negatives we've been carrying, the baggage we've been carrying up and down all through the days, not going to help us. You want to accelerate action, you have to understand work is not gender inclined. Work has no gender. Work is work. Work has no gender. Work is work. Vision is vision. Vision has no gender. Purpose is purpose. Purpose has no gender. Okay? You can bring your specialty and your uniqueness into what you do, but the demands are not going to change because you're a woman. Let that sink, please. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. So you have to come up and close with that and check it all on all fronts. This is what it is. So, what should we do? Because I don't have all the time today, but you must meet me at the event on the 27th because I'm going to really, really have enough time to talk about all of these things and just get many of us to begin to take the strides that we could have taken, but we thought we could not. Because when you say you cannot, then you find out that you cannot. So here it is. The first place to begin from is to be self-aware. In fact, someone put it this way. They said, be emotionally self-aware. I've always used the word self-aware, self-aware, self-aware. But the day the person added emotionality to it, I said, oh yeah, there can be different areas of self-awareness. So yes, we all as women, as ladies, as girls, as go-getting people in career, in business, in ministry, in all of those special areas, we need to become emotionally self-aware. Okay, that's unemotional, but all of that kind of self-aware. But let me begin with the fact that you need to know yourself. Who are you? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your triggers? Okay, so a lot of people talk about my strength, my weakness. There's another third part of it that you must take cognizance of. It is triggers. What triggers you to go down and sink down your emotional basement? You need to understand it. So this is personal development, calling your name in capital letters. Many of us need to go back and work on our crudeness. When you are crude, you don't offer the best of value. You have to refine. You have to take it through the refineries. And refineries, most of the time for humans, happen in training rooms. Or you read a book, or you get mentored by someone, or you pay attention or observe certain things to you, and whatever helps you learn best. Please do it for you. It's important. It's important. So the first thing is I'm talking about emotional intelligence for women in the workplace and in business. The first thing is know you. Because the entire thing about emotional intelligence is understand your emotions well. understand the emotions of people in your space, and then know how to balance out the two. That's the simplest way to explain it. So, but if you don't know you, how do you begin? Some women are so disconnected with their person, they don't know themselves at all. It's so bad that even when others who care about them point out to them an area where they're supposed to work on, they feel like it's a personal attack. Meanwhile, that person is probably only helping them to be self-aware. The person is calling your attention to be aware about something and then to begin to work on it. So, number one, be self-aware, and self-awareness involves understand your strength, basically, understand your weakness, and number three, understand your triggers. What triggers you? Is it a person? Are they places? Are they persons? Are they kind of words? Are they whatever they are? You must study yourself to the point where you understand your triggers. Everybody has got a trigger. But guess what? Not everybody submits to their trigger. That's the difference. Men have triggers like women have. And I'm talking about the career space. I'm talking about the business space. I'm talking about the workplace today in particular. Men also have triggers. But guess what? They don't submit to their triggers just because they have triggers. They have learned to scale what is priority. They've learned to understand where the stakes are highest and to put the stake before them rather than allow sentiments, emotions, feelings to overrun them and to mess things up. That's why men are like that. They don't have anybody to explain to. Many of us as ladies, we take a lot of liberty because we know that as the softer gender or the people will just have our back. When you cry, somebody will bring an handkerchief. There'll be a shoulder. They say men have broad shoulder so that women can cry on it. On whose shoulder is the man crying? Have you ever asked yourself? For once, you thought that men are no longer humans, right? You did joke. You dey joke. They are as human as you are. It's just a responsibility quotient will not let them lie down for things you will lie down for. So women, as the right action talks about, shake off all of those looseness. If you want it, go for it. Pay the price. So understand what your triggers are. But what do you do when you understand your triggers? Learn to manage them. Learn to manage your triggers. So at times, managing your triggers can be as little as understand the space that chokes you or that brings you to your last nerve experience. Understand them. If there are people, be as bold as men are to walk away from them. Men don't struggle with, I am not moving with this person again. It's not of us that are women. I say, excuse me. When did you see a man have time talking about things like that? And again, I'm not saying we should lose our uniqueness, but I'm saying that certain things that we thought are high priority uniqueness to us are not. We have better things up our sleeves. And the moment you begin to clear off the trash, you will see the treasures. And the things I'm telling you are things that I do practice by the grace of God. Life is about value, addition, and provision. So learn to manage it. So it could be staying away from someone, from a place, or learning to talk less. Now, let me give you an example of myself. I do not jump on just about every conversation online. Yes, I do character development training. I work on attitudinal development. I work on all of that. But I do not jump on just about any conversation. Particularly, I insist that I must understand all the sides to anything before I talk. And if I must talk, I only bring the wisdom that I want people to learn. I do not have to start dissecting what happened. For instance, I have stylishly made my point known about some of the things I learned happened on the floor of the Senate. The senator, who is a woman, and then the speaker. I mean, what do you call him now? Yeah, the Senate leader. No, he's not called Senate leader. Akpabio, Oga Akpabio. But the point I'm saying, I didn't want to mention anything, but one title was not coming to my head. So, but the point I'm saying is that there were things that the woman played into their hands with. I thought so strongly. Because if you were asked to come before the Committee on Ethics and Privileges, and then you found yourself not good for whatsoever reasons, when you know that people want to roast you, you don't carry, oh, thank you, thank you, Tolu. Tolu says, I'm the president. Off Tolu. So, yeah, thank you, Senate President. So the point is, when you know that people want to roast you, let people say that's the situation. Because another point I want to warn women of, you carry victim mentality too much. When you are driving, the average woman is driving. Is driving, defensive driving. And the moment a man shows up, maybe the man's car is finer, I'm sorry, or maybe our own car is finer than the man's car. Sha, the man shows up by the side and decides to do his own macho driving. The woman begins to feel like he is oppressing me. Excuse me, he is driving. Can you drive? Because there's so many of these things that we need to get off from. We carry a victim's mindset everywhere we go. We feel like people are out for us. I'm not saying that there are no chauvinists here and there who do not have a place in their hearts for women. But I'm saying that you should not come to the table with that kind of attitude. It could also tell how people take you or what they take you for. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Stop carrying. So I said, manage your triggers. Under manage your triggers, kindly ensure that you do not carry a victim's mindset all around. When you step into a place, step as someone who has the same right as the men there, not out of disrespect, but because you know you deserve what they deserve. And then be sure that you will pay the price. And then if you have to learn, learn. Because people were saying that, oh yeah, she didn't understand the rules of the floor. She was not supposed to be able to speak from a particular place when she's seated, and she's supposed to sit in a particular place. When you are moved, you are this. She didn't understand. Well, I couldn't tell why you think that she will not know what she was meant to do. But if she doesn't, it's not good. Let me warn every woman who has an opportunity to be out there. When you mess it up, you close the door against several other girls that are pushing the barrier behind you. They will continue to think that we are just a pack of emotional beings who cannot use their head. Women are logical. Women are not parts of emotional garbage. Stop pushing that narrative. It's not helping nobody. Learn, grow, become, develop yourself. Be every great thing that role, that goal, that project, that responsibility, that position requires of you. Do it. And then it should shock you. So because when you succeed as a woman, you are not the only one who is succeeding. An entire community, an entire body of people succeed. So now there are a number of women out there carrying placards and say you cannot be by suspension for 6 months, blah 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 blah. That shows you that you can have backup. The same way when things get messed up, everybody who never knew about it will have to prove themselves that they are different when they meet the same scenarios. So let's go out there and do it better. So emotional issues with women in workplaces is a lot. Let me quickly touch the issue of excuses and being laid back or being lazy. Some women are lazy. Yes, and they will hide under anything. Maternity leave. My head is paining me. My ear did this in the morning. I felt like this in the afternoon. I was having cramps. Hey, God. Oh. I'm not saying that you should die, but I'm saying that certain things will pressure you. Are you ready for the heat? If you are not, leave the kitchen. You have to make up your mind. I worked in a profession that didn't give any woman an opportunity to be a woman. Excuse me, we were all called gentlemen of the press. Go swallow that one first, come back. Go and swallow that and come back and talk with me. The fact that they don't say go to any function and they're acknowledging media people. You will never hear gentlemen and women. There's no woman here. So when you come from that kind of, and that's why I tell people, when you walk, learn, let your walk pass through you. Don't just pass through walk. That walk did something to me. And I tell you, something positive. So it depends on what you're looking for when you get an employment. What do you look for? What do you look for? Okay, so Tolu, you're on your own. You came on my wow, shaking all the tables. Okay, yes. And then Mr. Olusola-Obasa decided to be pressing phone and putting comments today. Okay. He said, when you mess it up, you close the door to other upcoming women out there. Absolutely. Our chances are lost. Honestly, the chances. I was doing a research sometime and I said, there are so many firsts that men have already enjoyed, but there are so many firsts that women are yet to take off. You see the first of this man, first of this woman, all the first woman is still open for anybody who is interested. This is not going to happen by being given to you. Nobody will give you anything. Nothing is promised. Nothing is assured. You go get it. And should I shock you? You can use the men to get it. Honestly, if only women would learn to understand who we are and what we've got, oh my God, there's no stopping any woman. Because you can have what the men have, and you have what the men can never have. There are things you have as a woman, a man can never. I say it in my full chest. A woman is soft. A man will have to learn to be soft. And see, softness penetrates. Softness enjoys access. A woman is soft too. She's witty. A man needs to learn to be soft too. Okay? Talking about certain things that are first nature to us. How can we convert these things to scaling in our purpose, in our vision, in our lives? We are looking at so many things and wondering why the world is against us. Meanwhile, even the Creator already packaged into us what makes us unbeatable. There are a lot of places a man will be checked 1,000 times before they allow them enter. They barely check a woman once and the woman will gain access. Come on now. Come on. One of my greatest joy recently was listening to Mrs. Ibukwa Oshika. I referenced her again last week. And many of the things she was saying, they were just getting me happy. Like I was happy. HAPPY. Kind of happy. I was happy because I could hear her say the things that were thoughts in my head. She was saying them as experience. I'm like, So the coast is clear. And if you are privileged to also marry right or know how to use the men in your space, nothing can stop you. See, I know men that if they know that you are great at what you do and you show respect, they will pitch their tent for you against another man. These things are real. But you see, when you clog your mind with I'm a victim, people are after me, people don't want to give me a space. The next time you are driving, drive with confidence. Let the man drive. Let him own the road if you want to own, drive your own. I did a story many years ago about accidents on the highways. And I wanted to know whether women were already ranking at par with men in uh, car crashes or road crashes, pardon me. It shocked me to hear from the road safety that women are now becoming oga in having road crashes. I'm like, yeah, because it's like when you're going for a research and in your head you are saying the research should go this way. And then you do the research, like, yeah. And I'm sure a lot of this will happen because many of us want to drive like men. Be smart, be everything unique to you. You have first natures that are unique. The man cannot compete with. I don't have all of the time today. But emotional issues, some bosses have spoken to me about what they are going through in the hands of women working with them. I have tried to hire for bosses who said, I don't want a woman for that role. After 1 year, you will say it's going on maternity leave. And of course, I had to correct them that you don't have to carry that mindset. You should wish people progress. But again, I can understand what they are saying. I can understand what they are saying. So let's meet on the 27th. I'm told that some he for she men can be allowed into that hall. I was hoping that it was just going to be us. So our partners are saying that, oh, we are going to have some men that are he for she in the hall. Okay. I hope that because they are he for she, they'll be fine with the things we are saying. They will not be ruffled. So anyway, that is going to be a time bomb meeting. I'm literally looking forward to setting fire in the tails of women to go do it. I'm still on my own journey too, so I've not arrived. But the little I have seen, I think that if we understand and follow the rules of the game and stop emotionalizing everything, learn how to express emotion the way it will make sense. The men have mastered it. If you must learn it, you must listen to them. If you don't want to listen to them, Umakawe wo, you go suffer. I'm telling you, you enter a new industry, male dominated. You came with shoulders and say, our need wisdom is far from you. Enter there, give them their flowers. Ah, guys, una don work, oh, blah blah blah. Give them their flowers, and then look for how to flow with them. And as time goes on, some of them will begin to push you up there as the preferred candidate. Stop all this. Everything no be fight. Everything no be by power, by wisdom. Before I start preaching, it's time for me to go. I do hope that this has been a great show. I have had a lot of people join me today. I'm so excited. Mr. Olajide, thank you for joining on Mind Your Character. And I can say Nwaka, thank you. And all the back end people from RCB, I can see all of you. I hail you. Tolu, what happened? You first day Instagram, you can't jump. Oh, what did they want you today now? But it's good though. The place where you sleep, wake up today. Now tell me they come. So I know they join my show. Okay. You see I'm shaking table. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Onishe Emmanuel. It was good to have you. Thank you, Mr. Olusola-Obasa. The people that gave us the privilege to be here. Let us hail them. Then, oh, Madam Ekanem Faith Blessing. Thank you so much. I truly hope that this has been useful. My name is Bosede Olusola-Obasa, and all I do is add value to you. Don't forget, 27th of March. The location is at Pettiness Hall. It is free, totally. Red carpet starts, as you know now, for women, there must be fanfare that day. We are good like that. It can't be dry. It cannot be dry. Obviously, you understand. So, but you love red carpet things coming from 9, but yes, the full business session begins at 10, and it's going to be amazing. We have a few, so the flyer will start going out from about this weekend, and we can't wait to have you. I'll personally be looking forward to shake hands and snap picture with people who have invited from online. Thank you so much. If you catch up with this video later, I am saying Kwale to you. Thank you so much. It's time to say my goodbyes now because my people have to go home. I don't want to mention somebody's name. She was sitting, but she has stood. When I see that, I understand that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care of yourself. God bless you. And have a beautiful weekend.